What's up, everybody? It's your favorite. I still can't believe they haven't made these guys available in a Masterpiece format. Favorite nerd. And today we are looking at the Iron Factory Racing Bro Retrograde, otherwise known as Runabout and Runamuck. And as you can see, they hold their weapons just fine, but let's talk about them in a little bit more detail. Real quick before we get started, this is on loan to me from Gort, co-host of The Force Sensitive, available on the Nerd Rage Radio podcast platform, wherever you listen to podcasts. So I appreciate his help. Now let's get into these accessories. So each one comes with their own pistol. They're similar sculpts, if not exactly the same. It looks like they are exactly the same. One is cast in this kind of red chrome, which does look nice. It's more like a metallic paint, but it looks beautiful. And then this one is just the flat black plastic. Articulation wise, they're the same. So we'll talk about the articulation on one, then talk about the deco on the other. So on this guy, the head is on a ball peg. You do get a swivel, but the back of the head does butt up against this bar here, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you can work around it. It just takes some doing. We have silver paint on the face, red paint on the eyes. You get a little bit up, a little bit down, and you should get your swivel. It's just a little impinged by this bar on the back. For the shoulders, you have a hinge inside of the shoulder that will hinge up, getting you just shy of 90 degrees, and then you have a ball peg that it comes out to at the shoulder, which will allow for the additional articulation. Nothing really for an outward movement. You get a little bit of an inward movement, and then you get the swivel all the way around. You have a bicep swivel, and then you have a single hinged elbow that gets you past 90 degrees, so that's well done, and then the wrist swivel. Same for the other side. We do have some silver paint here on the tire, and then we have some black paint for the windows, and that looks nice enough. We have a swivel for the waist, no ab crunch. We have T-jointed ball joints for hips, a little bit limited out to there, but I think that should get you everything that you need. Forward and back to there. You have a thigh swivel at a cut joint. You have a double hinge knee that gets you the full run, so no issues there. Black paint on the windows down below, silver on the wheels, silver or gunmetal inside of the calves. And then we have the ankles. You get a toe tilt down, a slight toe tilt up, same for the heel spur, at least downward motion wise, and then you get the rocker on the toe as well. So no proper ankle movement, but the toes do everything to hide that, so that works fine. Then we have the light blue paint there, and then the gunmetal paint there as well. There he is from the back. Deco wise, we'll take a look at this one. The metallic red comes through beautifully. It looks amazing in that regard. Then the silver really pops on the face, red eyes. The red, they chose red down there as well. I think that's a smart choice. Then the gunmetal is the same, red on the wheels. So they swapped out a couple colors for a preference with the red over top of it. I think that's ultimately the right choice. Now let's do some size comparisons. There they are next to Tarn. And there they are with a Hasbro legend and an early Iron Factory legend. Hopefully between the two you have an idea. So let's get them transformed. You want to line up the arms so that they sort of sit in line, the forearms and then the hands. That should be kind of self-explanatory as you're moving through it. It only kind of makes sense aesthetically a certain kind of way. You can leave them out to the side. We got to undo the backpack and bring that up. We got to undo the chest and double hinge that down, but first you have to spin it 180. And then make sure that this sits on either side of the pelvis. Bring up the backpack and around. It'll tab in using this tab and that slot. And then bring up the shoulders and tab them in. You can bring the feet together and tab them in, or the legs together rather. Collapse the toes, collapse the heels, slide up the feet or the lower legs until they meet with the upper body, and that's it in a nutshell. I'll get it cleaned up and kind of put together, and we'll take a look at it. And there they are, and they're nice enough. I can't get these back pieces to kind of lay as flush as I think they should, and it kind of looks broken up as a result, but that's kind of only my only aesthetic cue. Tolerance wise, they all work well, which is great, because it's one of the things that Iron Factory struggles with. They roll like a champ. This one, obviously, the deco just always looks nicer, right? Red and black always is going to look better than black and white, especially with that light blue in the front. But that's a subjective thing, to be fair. But yeah, I don't have any real complaints. Tiger Tracks. We'll get the negatives out of the way. It'd be nice if they had a weapon storage in alt mode. I kind of feel like that's something that should always be there generally. Also, the limitation in the articulation regarding the head. Not like there's not a workaround, but it could be done better. And I also wish that the back flap of the hood, or trunk rather, when it came and sat over the front of the body of the bot, I wish that that lined up a bit better. And it's possible that I'm not pushing it to its full potential, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Positives wise, I love the sculpts. That's never Iron Factory's problem. They're painted well. Not tons of paint, but the paint that is applied is done clean, well, and is appropriate, and it breaks it up enough. Once again, rarely their issue. However, I will say these have less paint on them than most Iron Factory products that I deal with. With the exception of the head, the articulation is pretty much acceptable across the board. Not mind-blowing, but everything works. And the engineering is pretty self-explanatory and intuitive. So overall, it is a recommend for me, but certainly not the most impressive pieces I've ever looked at from this company. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.